Coming right up, Straight Talk with Art Levine. Our guest tonight, Judge James P. Gray, the Libertarian Candidate for Vice President of the United States, as we conclude our 20th anniversary year.
Closed captioning provided by Scan Health Plan.
Opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Charter Communications nor its sponsors. We recognize our obligation to present opposing points of view by responsible spokespersons. For information, please contact the Director of Program.
Straight Talk is brought to you in part by Southern California Edison. For over 100 years, life powered by Edison. The Press Telegram, your local news leader for over 100 years.
Join us for tonight's edition of Straight Talk. And now your host, Art Levine.
Good evening and welcome to Straight Talk. This is the last show of our 20th anniversary season, and we're very honored to have as our guest for the entire show, Judge James P. Gray, the Libertarian Candidate for Vice President of the United States. Judge Gray, welcome back to Straight Talk.
Art, it's just always nice to be with good people, and thank you, and it's an exciting time. But let me change things around a little bit because you are a recent groom. You've just recently gotten married. Mr. Levine, tell us about your new bride.
Well, Diane, my new bride, is the best. I love her dearly, and thank you for asking. Your Honor, you are running for Vice President of the United States on the Libertarian Party. We've known each other for many years. You are a longtime advocate of decriminalization of drugs. We'll talk about that later in the show. But the presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party, Governor
Gary Johnson.
Tell us about him.
You know, I was quoted accurately and publicly for months saying that Governor Gary Johnson is the most qualified person to be President of the United States that I know of. Not just because of what he says, although he says certainly some good things, but for what he did while he was a two-term governor of New Mexico. You know, he was able to leave the state with a billion-dollar surplus after his 8 years, from 1995 to 2003. He actually repealed or vetoed excessive spending measures, more, 750 in 8 years, more than all other 49 governors combined. And Art, the one that really tickles me the most is he received a 260-page spending bill. He vetoed it, and his message was, you take this back, make it more concise, only one subject at a time, and I'll look at it, and it never came back.
And he was ran as a Republican and elected as a Republican in a state that's a Democratic majority.
It's a Democratic state, and he was reelected by a larger amount than when he was originally elected. The man has never lost a race. He asked me to be his running mate, and I said, you know, I'll do it happily and gratifyingly on one condition, and that is we run to win. He's completely with that. None of this moral victory stuff, none of this make a good showing. We're going to run to win. And our strategy is, and it's very straightforward, if we poll by the end of September at 15%, we will be a part of the 3 presidential debates, and by the way, the 1 vice presidential debate. And if we get in those debates, we will show that we are head and shoulders above either Mr. Romney or Mr. Obama, to the degree that they're both here together, almost joined at the hip with regard to so many issues. We are standing up for individual liberty and for economy.
And you feel the American people are hungry for a third choice.
Craving a third choice. There are so many people. The support for Mr. Romney is soft, that about 20%, 30% of his supporters are only voting against Obama, and vice versa. Obama's support is soft. They're just voting against Romney. They will never vote for each other. They will vote for Governor Johnson when they see what he will do for all of us.
And so your goal now is to get up to 15% in polling, so you'll be invited into the presidential and vice presidential debates, and,
yes,
and that's key to getting
critical,
your message out.
Critical. And you know, as far as our viewers are concerned, You know, keep your vote to yourself, but if a poller calls you on the phone, first of all, don't hang up. And secondly, say, I will support Governor Johnson for president. That will make the debates more interesting. We're the only third party as libertarians that will be on the ballot in every state in the union as opposed to others. And it will certainly make them more substantive because we will make Mr. Obama and Mr. Romney discuss issues they do not want to discuss.
Well, just one man's opinion here. I think you deserve a place at the table.
Thank you.
Deserve the right to be heard. And I'm sure both parties that tend to control the debate commission would just as leave see you not at the table.
That's
and
right.
The threshold is that you have to get to 15% in polling.
That's right, nationwide.
And someone told me that they're trying to keep you out of the polls so that your name isn't mentioned. So
yes, yes. You know, come on, let's do this. But one thing the Republicans and the Democrats unitedly agree upon is don't let the third party be a part. They do that.
Well, one thing that very much impressed me about the governor is that he has climbed the 4 highest peaks on 7 continents. That's quite amazing.
Yes, and he plans eventually, after our tour in Washington is over, to climb the other 3. He's an amazing man. He's a self-made man, an entrepreneur, started his business literally in the garage, and now he actually had employed 1,000 people, the only people in running in this race that have done that sort of thing. I, by the way, will be more qualified than any of the vice presidential nominees. I will be the only one that has ever been a Peace Corps volunteer elected to national office, probably the only one that served in the military, certainly the only one with judicial experience, 25 years as a judge. You can pretty much, as you know, Art, see anything that goes wrong in society in that amount of time.
Let me just mention that our guest is a former federal prosecutor and served for over 20 years on the bench on the municipal court appointed by Governor Deukmejian, and then on Orange County Superior Court.
I was proud to have been appointed by Deukmejian, actually those 2 times. I was able to settle the first Catholic priest child sexual molestation case in the country. Difficult thing to do, but you got the parties together and accomplished things in that settlement, namely institutional changes in the Catholic Church they never could have gotten by going to trial. I work well with people. I listen. I'm trained to filter through evidence, figure out what's credible, what works under the law, figure out what laws work, etc., and then dust people off, make a decision actually and explain it. That's what I do. And I will be a really good candidate for this office. I'm proud to be running with Governor Gary Johnson.
Very impressive. In the next segment, we'll discuss some of the specific issues on the Johnson-Gray campaign trail. We'll be right back after these messages.
Supported by Edison International. Californians are getting to be old hands at year-round energy conservation, part of our special awareness of the resources we all depend on. We're making the change to energy-efficient light bulbs, keeping warm weather thermostats set to a comfortable 78 degrees, and giving major appliances the afternoon off. Because when it comes to energy conservation, it all adds up. Life, powered by Edison.
I want to improve my career opportunities.
I want to earn a higher salary at my job.
I'd like to finish what I started.
The new Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts degree completion program at Cal State Long Beach will help you achieve your educational goals while keeping your life in balance. Contact our customer service center at 1-800-963-2250 for more information, or visit us on the web. Let CSULB help you finish what you started.
In today's world, everything's connected. From the workplaces that support us, to the homes that welcome us, to the trees and wildlife habitats that remind us how important our environment is. When a bird lands on a branch, and in the midst of a busy day, we stop to watch, it makes us realize we're all in the same boat. The Port of Long Beach welcomes this world with open arms, an environmental policy that's second to none, and a commitment to shaping a vibrant community. The Port of Long Beach, thinking outside the docks.
As your business searches for smart ways to save, don't forget about the one that's right in front of you. Switch to the Charter Business Bundle and you can save big without sacrificing a thing. Get reliable business telephone and high-speed internet with local support and great features. Power your business with great savings starting today. It's easy to pay less and get more. Call now and make a switch to the Charter Business Bundle.